Morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. This is a look at what happens if you roll over your money into something to prevent a downward revision. 2008 was a terrible event that caused a lot of people having to work a lot longer than they ever thought they had to. But this goes up the stairs, and up the stairs, does not go down the stairs when the market sells off. And it beats index investing by about 5% per year. And currently, there are bonuses from 5 to 45% out there. If you'd like to learn more, please check in with me. So let us go over here. We're going to take a look at crypto. I guess my timing was pretty good yesterday. I put a short on my BitX holdings, and Bitcoin has sold off here. So we'll see how the trend continues or does not continue. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. I'm just going to pull up Ethereum. 2630, I believe it was, 76. So that's the look there. Let us go over to our word of the day. Our word of the day is Enchiridion. Enchiridion, a book containing essential information on a subject. Susan treasures her mother's cookbook, and Enchiridion of the family's favorite dishes. So now we move over to the S500 heat map. Microsoft is bouncing after a bit of a downturn. NVIDIA is continuing its kind of breakout yesterday. Meta is up 1%. Energy is down about 5%, hurting the biotech sector. And Thermo Fisher, Danaher are down as well in the diagnostics area. So let us continue on. Let's go take a look at our charts. Right now we got the dollar bouncing, so that's going to put a little pressure on the stock market. Let's see what it's doing to silver. Silver's pulling back a little bit today. Gold is holding pretty steady. Pretty amazing. Copper is pulling back a little bit. Uranium continues up. And our favorite miner, Denison Mines, is up as well. It hit the 200-day moving average and pulled back a little bit. Look at the bond yields. Bond yields are bouncing a little bit today, up 1% on the 10-year. We're at 3.78% interest. 20-year bouncing a little bit, up 1.43% to 2.98. Volatility fear index is bouncing. Looks like it bounced a little bit and then sold off. It's off 0.5% to 1561. S&P pretty flat for the day. RSP, the equal weight, pulling back a little more, up down 0.5%. The NASDAQ is up slightly. Equal weight in the NASDAQ, pulling back much like the S&P equal weight. IWM, small caps, pulling back a little stronger, off 1%. And the Dow Jones pulling back about 0.6%. Take a look at financials. Financials we're just looking at the top ETFs in the month of September. Financial sector is down 3.17. U.S. industrials was, for the month, it's like 9.45. XLI for the month, as you can see, it was trending up here, up 17.30. IGM was number 2 for the month. This is tech software. The nice gain up here. I'm not sure if this is points or looks like points. They're up $39.92. And number 1 was XLK, according to PNF sector results. And their top 5 in the sectors was Howmet Aerospace. Look at this trend up. FICO is number 2. Zeta Global Holding is number 3. I guess Howmet Aerospace came in two areas. And finally, it's KKR. And a nice big move up here, and it's kind of flattening out. And take a look at the rest of the sectors. Commercial services select, where Google and Meta are, and AT&T is up 0.12%. Energy is down big time. Look at oil prices sinking as well. Real estate, pretty flat. Utilities, bouncing. Biotech is falling. Amgen is having a big effect on this. XBI is falling, just not as far. SMH is doing well today, up 0.75%. Semtech looked like it was breaking out yesterday, is continuing that, up 0.13%. PAVE pulling back a little bit. Consumer discretionary, where Tesla and Amazon are, pulling back a little bit. Be flat. And consumer staples, healthcare, pulling back to its 50-day. Transportation, pulling back as well. Software, pulling back just slightly. Metals and mining, pulling back a little bit today, off close to 1% after that huge move yesterday. Building materials, it's pulling back 0.5%. Take a look at KWeb. My alter ego asked why we didn't have this as the ETF of the day yesterday, pulling back 2.26% after being up over 10% yesterday. Here's a home builders pulling back to their 10-day moving average. And I think that's about all we're going to look at right here. We're moving over to the news of the day. Ford Motor downgraded to equal weight from overweight, and target of $12 from $16 at Morgan Stanley. And General Motors downgraded to underweight from equal weight, the target to 42 from $47, and they're both off about 5% today. Rivian also was downgraded to equal weight to overweight from overweight. Here we go, typed in the wrong. They're down 6% today. BYD was up. Oh, I don't think this is the one I'm looking for. This is one I'm looking for. BYD broke out yesterday, pulled back a little bit today, but it's only off 1.21% after this big move. BYD is the leading EV maker in the world. Big investment by Warren Buffett. So continuing on, auto parts supplier Magna and Finia were both downgraded from equal weight from overweight. down 5% on Magna, and Finia is down almost 8%. Group 1, it seems like a big rollover on all the auto areas. We got Group 1 Auto, Auto Nation, Penske Auto were upgraded to overweight from equal weight at Morgan Stanley. Group 1 Automobile is up pretty flat for the day. Auto Nation tried to move higher and selling off 0.5%. And Penske Group is up slightly, up 0.73%. Asbury Auto Group up 1.2%. Lithia trying to move higher and selling off. And finally, Sonic Auto, they were all upgraded to equal weight from underweight, saying they're less cautious on auto dealers. GPI target to 430 from 285. Lithia to 310 from 255. And PAG to 180 from 115. And Sonic Auto from 58 from 40. Asbury, Auto Nation 200 from 145, and Asbury Auto Group 240 from 190. On the Stitch Fix, shares fall in guidance. Wow, they really gapped down 38%. Lifeway Foods confirmed that it has received an unsolicited non-binding proposal from Danone North America, which we had in the news yesterday, to acquire all outstanding shares of common stock of Lifeway. Lifeway is pulled back just slightly, 1.2%. Look at Danone, down 0.68%. DoorDash upgraded to overweight from sector weight at KeyBank. And Tyson Foods downgraded to underweight from neutral at Piper Sandler, and they're off 4.2%. Onto energy, industrials, and materials. KB Home shares fall on margins. EPS miss. Q3 EPS $2.04 versus $2.06, and fall 5.4%. That's hurting the home builders today. Worthington Industries reported Q1 earnings and revenue that came in well below estimates at 50 cents versus 71-cent estimate. They're down 2.32%. On to financials. Berkshire Hathaway disclosed that it sold about 21.6 million shares of Bank of America, valued at $862.7 million over the period of September 20th to 24, as per filing. Rhythm Capital, 30 million share spot secondary price at $11.43. They're falling on this as nobody likes to be diluted. On to healthcare. We're talking about Amgen, drugs, Upslisna, and Rocalimab for rare muscular disorder and for skin disease, respectively, met the main goals in late-stage studies, but results from its drug Rocalimab for treating atopic dermatitis or eczema fell short of its competitors' drugs, which have already been approved. So that is why Amgen is falling, down 5% today. Merck provides update on phase 3 key form trial, evaluating investigational fixed dose combination. Let's see, what did they say about colorectal cancer? Trial did not meet primary endpoint, but their stock is not down on that news. Wave Life Sciences announces 175 million ordinary shares warrants offering, and they are moving up on that news, up a little over 10%. On to technology, media, and telecom. Hewlett Packard Enterprise was upgraded to overweight from equal weighted Barclays. The price target on the stock was boosted to 24 from 20, and they gap up on that news, up 4.8%. Progress Software, our stock of the day, Q3 EPS $1.26 versus Consensus of $1.14. They're up 13% on that news. And SAP is trading lower after Bloomberg reports said German software company and others were being investigated by the U.S. officials for potentially conspiring to overcharge government agencies over the course of a decade. Justice Department lawyers since at least 2022 have been looking to whether SAP illegally conspired with product reseller Terrasoft Technology to fix prices and sales to the U.S. military and other parts of the government. And so that ends our news, and that is the story there. Let us take a look at what we're doing. We're going to pause for 1 second. We're back. DoorDash is our IPO of the day. Instacart comes in a second. Instacart is right in the pivot area. It's looking pretty good here. So that is what's happening. Let's go over to our, what's up, 10%. We got a bounce from a big sell-off from Corbus Pharmaceuticals down Hamilton Group Insurance. It's up about 11% today. And Progress Software, which was our stock of the day, up 12.6% up to the. You can take a look at Costco. It's one of our portfolios we manage. Put that into Costco here. Right now, the earnings are about a day away. So that's the one danger. We're going to pause 1 more second. So this is this music sharing. We added to another portfolio that we're managing. It's got 3 base on base up in a row. They just kind of continue going up. This is a music streaming company. Seems to do pretty good earnings. Had this kind of peak over here. You can see the earnings came down right over here, and now it's starting to trend up again. You can draw a trend line right over here. It's now passing where it was before. We're going to just bring up our other chart here. Haven't really done anything new with our portfolio at the moment. Dave is kind of flat. It's down about 1% for the day. Got a little bit of a pullback in American Semiconductor. To have a huge move here, so that isn't totally unexpected. GitLab pulls back to the 20-day. We just continue to watch this right over here. As long as it can hold the bottom of the gap up. Arch Capital Group, just kind of riding along the 10-day moving average, not doing anything wrong there. Samsara, pretty flat for the day. Oracle, pretty flat as well, tried to bounce and then sold off. Carpenter, pretty flat as well. Natera is just kind of holding along the 20-day. We did put in a sell on options, gain a little more earnings on this one at 1:30. Lower, got a little bit of a bounce off the 20-day here, which we thought might happen. We'll just continue to watch that one. App loving, just loving this movement. It's just incredible. It's up about 44% from where we bought it. Only downside, we didn't buy enough. Reddit continues to move on up. It has now cleared this little kind of tight area that it was holding here. The earnings are up for 35 days. A-Lab, this is a 10% holding, continues performing well. Only thing, volume has receded a little bit. NVIDIA, it's kind of following through. We got a gap up today on NVIDIA. We bought right around 121. And VRT continues moving on up. One of the other portfolios we have a big holding in Netflix. Not doing anything wrong. It pulled back here to the 50-day. Got support. It's pulling back up. Looks like people are just kind of nibbling on this. Looks like a cup with a handle right here. I'm going to take a look back right now at Elf Beauty. Elf Beauty, we first talked about Elf Beauty. It was right in this, not that area, right in this area here. We actually, no, I think it was, I'm just trying to find out where that was. It was like 122. It's been right in this area, put on an option, 10 options at 122. I rode them up here, pull back. Looks like it may have exhibited a head and shoulders top, or at least a double top here. And they've just kind of fallen off the planet, pulling back. Earnings up for 42 days. We did put on a spread option. We put on 2 bullish spread options. We did one on 110, 115 calls, and then we did shorted the 115 puts and bought the, actually we shorted the 110 puts and bought the 105 puts. So we'll see if that works out. See if it hits bottom here. Really like this company. They're starting, we'll see if it does something like this. Starting international distribution. So the big key is going to be for earnings in 42 days, see what kind of progress that they made after this big sell-off. They had a 50% increase in earnings over here. And they kind of had disappointing revenue guidance over here, and it's just continued to fall down. And they had 0% earnings increase over here, which really continued to hurt the stock price. So that's where we are there. Let's take a look at NU. Still kind of trading pretty tightly right in this area. Let's take a look at some of the issues in there. Apple is selling off 1.4% today. Amazon off 0.76%. Microsoft is actually bouncing. We'll see if this is a long kind of cup with handle formation. Google. It's pretty flat under the 50-day moving average. Meta kind of bouncing here out of its pivot. Tesla continues its move up. We looked at NVIDIA before, but it's moving up. I'm not sure if we missed anybody there, but that's going to wrap up our Mornings with Michael for Wednesday, October, or soon to be October, September 25th. Hope everybody has a great day. Remember, you need to go out there and continue to work on your goals and your activities toward those goals. We can help you with any of your financial activities. Please give us a comment, and we're here to help make your money work harder than you do. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone.